Hi, this is Tom Moyer. Welcome to Week 3 of Introduction to the Paralegal Profession. This week we're going to take a look at actual employment in a law firm or in a corporate legal office of a corporation. We're going to take a look at some of the aspects of working in these places, and we're going to discuss some of the primary topics that you need to be aware of in working in such an environment. One of the things I wanted to touch on very quickly is that as you work in your legal office, there may be times where you're going to find yourself doing actual paralegal work, and there's going to be other times where you'll find yourself doing clerical work. There can be a switchover. It even happens for attorneys. It does, particularly associates. Sometimes the legal secretary will be assigned a specific task. The legal secretary of the attorney you're working with may be assigned a task of creating a pleading, whereas you're given documents to file. A thought and a concept to keep in mind is this: if you find yourself being assigned clerical work more than paralegal work, keep in mind that there are other attorneys probably at that firm or that office that you can work for. And it's important that you network within that office with those attorneys and actually with everybody. Try to be on good terms with everybody, but if you network with other attorneys in the office, particularly partners, and show them a little bit of your skills, tell them about your availability within reason, because usually you're assigned work, but get to know them, get your name out there, put yourself on the radar of different people, and if you find yourself doing too much clerical work, sometimes a hint or even a question to a partner or attorney about work can generate another type of work for you. Again, it's a delicate balance. You want to be careful you don't go beyond the constraints that the paralegal manager or the office manager has put on you, but you can also market yourself in a sense to other attorneys to try to get more responsibility and better work. It's navigating the politics of a corporate office of a company, the law office of a company or a law firm. It can be unique, but it's really not that different from a regular business office. You need to be aware of the tier structure at law offices, though. The partners or the people who run the place, the administrative attorneys, they're the top tier. Then generally you have associates who are working at the ground level on work for those administrative attorneys or those partners. Then you have the paralegal staff. Then you have the legal secretarial staff, and then you have the clerical staff and the librarians. At a real small firm, those functions can be combined into just a couple of people. But at the larger and the mid-sized firms, you'll find that type of tier. And navigating the politics of an office is important, particularly with your paralegal peers. If there are other paralegals in that office that you're working side by side with, or legal secretaries that you're working with too, you have to realize that the whole team is competing for the best work, for the attention of the partners, for the attention of the attorneys. And with that in mind, you can develop your own strategy of linking up and communicating with these key players, the partners and the associates at the office, because that is where your work is going to tend to come from. They will flat out ask a paralegal manager or office manager that they would like your help if they know you, if they're getting to know you, and if they sense that you're a good solid person that will really give them a good work product and really give them results. So keep that in mind. You want to be congenial, you want to get along with everybody, and yet there are doors that you will notice that come along once in a while that you have to immediately act on. You have to walk through that door, such as you see a partner in their office, say hello. Talk to them a little bit about what kind of work they're doing. Tell them it sounds interesting. I'd love to do work on that sometime. Plant some seeds. So keep that in mind with your strategy. Communication in a law firm is a big thing too, because as you have read in your textbook, there are a lot of stressors in a law office, and it can get pretty acute at some times, particularly when you're coming up to a hearing date or a big filing deadline or to trial or during an appeal. People get stressed, and you have to navigate that accordingly. If you're in a high-stress situation, try to lay low as much as you can. Produce results. Give people what they want. Don't question things too much. Don't probe too much. But when times are more low-key, you can do that. You can ask about different types of work. You can broach the topic of, I would be interested in doing that sometime. Please keep that in mind. I would love to do that kind of work. And again, planting seeds, getting on people's radar, that's an important determinant of it. And the last thing I want to touch on real quick is having realistic expectations. And I don't care if you work at a law firm, at a university, or at a business office of a computer software house. You have to have realistic expectations of your career. And two key words that I can give advice on in particular, because I've lived by these two words. They're important. And one of them is patience, and the second word is persistence. You have to be patient for opportunities to come up. I have waited sometimes for a couple of years, literally a couple of years, waiting for something to come up, and it eventually did. It maybe took 3 or 4 or 5 years, but I waited. I watched for it. And you can't get discouraged if career moves and career changes and career advancements take some time, because they can. Again, I speak from experience on that. The second thing is persistence. Being persistent in looking for opportunities, even if it's for 3 or 4 or 5 years, if you're persistent, you'll spot that opportunity. If you're not persistent, you're going to wait forever, because you won't be able to see that opportunity when it comes up. So consider your career like a marathon. You're in a long-term race. You're going to gradually get there, and you will, by continuing education, by networking, by being persistent, and by being patient. And if you kind of blend these principles and other important principles that you know about and will learn about, it will really get you headed in a good direction and will really increase the odds of success for you. Those are just some thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I will see you on the boards. Take care.